Hello and welcome to this video. I'm Andy and this video will be all about scouting. So I will show you the basics on how to scout and what to look out for when you're scouting. The first tips right at the start, you want to use your explorer with a hotkey, so you can quickly jump to your explorer, and you also want to use the shift key to queue your explorer command so he will never be idle. This is also true for your native scouts if you have any, so they will always be running around the map and exploring the map. So what do you want to look out for in H1? You want to look out for herder builds, so if for example it's sheep or llamas or cows, and you also want to look out for treasures. So for me there are three types of treasures. The easy treasures are treasures which you can get very easily, so that will be treasures with only one guardian, or with two easy guardians, or even treasures without guardians. Usually you want to take all the easy treasures, so if you come around one easy treasure, you just shoot the guardian and take the treasure and get on with life. So the medium treasures are treasures which have 2 or 3 guardians, so that will be for example 3 wolves or 2 bandits. Usually if you start doing those treasures, your explorer will lose HP, and so you can't do all the medium treasures. So that means for medium treasures you only want to take the good ones. Good ones are usually food or wood treasures, but you can also justify getting XP treasures, or in some circumstances you can also justify getting gold treasures, but it's not always a good decision. Also, you always want to take the native scout treasure if you scout it early, so you can explore the map faster. Treasures which are usually not worth taking right away are units, so that will be for example the natives, which you can sometimes find, and also the pets, so a coyote or a wolf. And you also don't want to take sheep or cows or something, that's usually not worth it, except if you're maybe Indians or Chinese. So the last type of treasure is the hard to get treasure. So this will be usually a treasure with 3 or more guardians. So usually in H1, even if you want to take them, you won't be able to. So you can usually do those treasures if you're in H2 and have some units out already, and then they will be a little boost to your game. So how do you take minimal damage when doing treasures? So the first strategy is to shoot a treasure guardian, and then you move out of the range of the treasure guardian, so it will stop following you. And right as he stops following you, you shoot him again, and then he will run to a random direction, and then you get some free shots. You also then have to move back into the range of the treasure guardians, so he will not reset his HP. With that strategy you want to be careful, because if the enemy explorer is close, he might steal your treasure. So you only want to do this if you know where the enemy explorer is, or if it's pretty unlikely that he will run across that treasure. So that means if the treasure is, for example, at the edge of the map. You have to be very careful if you do this on a treasure which is in the middle of the map. So another strategy to keep your explorer HP high is to attack some guardians in melee mode, because there are some guardians who are much stronger in ranged combat, and you want to attack those in melee mode. So those are the pistolero, the bandit rifleman, and the Caribbean blowpipe man. So at 3 minutes 30 to 4 minutes, you want to explore the enemy base and see what he's doing. So there are some things you want to look out for. Those are in this order. You want to look for forward wilds to see if he's trying to get a front base and tries to pressure you. Then you want to see what resources he's gathering. So in this case, as the Ottoman, if he's getting very little gold, that would mean he's going for Janissaries. If he's getting very much gold, that means he goes for Abus guns. And if he's gathering much wood, that would indicate that he's trying to go for a fish pool. If you're in his base, you want to look out for his HR politician. So if he gets 200 gold and the outpost wagon, that would indicate that he's going for a fast fortress. If he gets the quartermaster with 400 wood, that indicates that he's playing normal aggression. If you're in his base, you also look out for his first shipment. So if he's getting 5 Janissaries, he's going to attack very early, and if he's getting crates, the timing attack will hit a bit later. The last thing you want to see is what military building he's getting. In this game he went for forward barracks and is going for Janissaries at the moment. But you also don't want to stay around in his base for too long, because you don't want to lose your explorer, because you need him for treasures, or you want to build a TP, or you maybe want to scout him a few minutes later. So in this game, because I found his forward barracks, I assumed he would Janissary rush me, and so I went back with my explorer to get the last treasure. And because I found his forward barracks, I also decided to place my barracks behind my base, so it's harder to kill. So at this point I was just waiting for the rush to come in, and because the rush wasn't coming in, I was a bit surprised and confused. So I sent my explorer to scout the coastline to see if he's going for a fish boom or something like that. And I also started to move forward with my army. So because I assumed he was going for a fish boom, I didn't expect to meet so many units in the middle of the field. And so my slow-ass army with leather cannons and Carolines got caught in a very bad position and I couldn't retreat. In this game, if I sent my explorer to the middle of the map and just scouted his army, I probably wouldn't have moved out there and I wouldn't have lost that army. And I think that was my biggest mistake in this game, so I lost that game because my scouting wasn't good enough. Which is kind of ironic for this video, because this video is about scouting. So some closing thoughts about scouting in mid to late game. You can always use your explorer for scouting, but what I like to do the most, or what I think is the best way to scout in mid to late game, is to just send some packs of 5 hussars or 10 musketeers around the map and see what he's doing. So if you find some villagers, you can kill them right away. And in later stages of the game, it is more important to know what kind of army composition he has, so you can react accordingly. So that will be the end of this video. Did I forget something? Then just write it in the comments. I hope you learned something, and I see you around. Bye bye!
Befäl ska ske. Marsch! Hallå?